up. I said, damn, it's dark again. You get up and work and it's dark, and then you end and it's dark. You're like, what happened? So
Been
how
a
are you
long
guys
day,
doing,
dude.
man?
Hey,
Yeah,
I
man.
wore
Talk.
it. Can I show you what I bought just for the show? Can I show you guys?
What's
Hang
that?
on. I'm not flashing you, okay? So, this is my Happy Valentine's Day shirt. I'm
You
trying
say
to
armor?
remove this. Yeah, it's amour. It means love in
That's
French.
armor.
No.
That's armor in this. All right. Did you
No.
say it? I didn't.
There's no
Let me,
R. It's not armor, it's amour. That's because I love y'all.
okay.
That's why.
First,
Happy Valentine's Day,
first of
everybody.
all, me and you are good. Uh, but if you keep putting "yous" in words that don't belong in, we're gonna have a
Okay,
problem.
now you
Y-
badass mofo. Um, First of all, this word is in French. Okay, so what the hell do you know about that?
yeah.
And favorite, there's a U there.
Okay. First of all, that's why y'all don't have alphabet soup over there because you can't put the oodles on it. Like they just float all over the soup. All right. Number two, it's there's no "you" in favorite. All right. So if
Yeah,
anybody
well,
from
check the dictionary because the English dictionary says it's all right to write it both ways. Huh? Run
are you friend?
the
Okay.
the intro, dude.
Hold on. Let's do the world a favor. Let's move Lion over here so everybody can see his face. If that's not the face of what the hell am I getting into, I don't know what is.
Oh,
How are you? How are you, Lion?
sweetest guy.
Yeah, I'm hanging in. I'm doing well, about 70% right now. Just coming off one of those
Oh
flu
man.
bug type of things, so recovering, getting energy up. What's up, Jackie?
And then you walk into this. You're a good man. You're a strong man. All right.
He's
So
a patient man.
hey, let's put up. Oh, well, look who he's rolling with. I mean,
I
you got to have the patience
know.
of Jesus to hang out with me all the time. Yeah, dude. All right. So let's
I
see who we
know.
got. So I had my stuff up here and it disappeared. Imagine that. So
Did you?
here
How did it go
is because
with your
they're at the
babies?
age.
Oh,
Well, you can see by the stank face on the older one there. That's what I got to deal with all day. See that
no.
face?
Is she
That's a
mad at
face
you for
that
something?
Santa's going to leave cold.
She mad
So
at you
yeah,
for something?
probably. Yes.
Yeah. What'd you do again?
Yeah, usually. So she wants to aggravate me, but she forgets that her genetics and my experience makes me superior in the aggravation department. So finally, I just lose it and I start aggravating her, and then now it's not fun anymore, right? This is the only fun us parents can have when we deal with this kind of stuff. Um, so yeah,
What was in
that's
the
so
box,
anyway,
dude? What was in the box at the bottom
the
of
little
the
one is
picture?
so that is it has a little thing on the bottom where you wind it up and it twirls around or something. It was for Christmas, and then
Oh.
um, the future home ec teacher, my little one over here, decided to put all the utensils and stuff in it and put it out on the stove. So I've got Bert and Ernie basically in my house. They one's rubber ducky and the other one's saying shut up. So it's really fun. So I want to share everybody. When I look like I'm frazzled, now you know why. But hey, it's love. And, oh, and the dog. That's the picture of the dog.
Mm.
Um,
And a cat.
the cat is alpha now. So yeah, anything
They're
goes.
cute.
All right. So
They're very cute.
Thank you, Jackie.
all right, Jackie, you're awesome. We got Sindel. Sindel is here. We're gonna roll the intro.
Kid is
Um,
here.
look, there's Jackie again. Um, oh, that's wild. That's Hounds of Business. That's not me. That's not me doing that comment. Awesome. All right. So we're going to get the show on the road. Now we got people actually here and they missed all that nonsense and bring out these wonderful, amazing women here soon. So let's go ahead. If I could find, there it is. Let's roll the intro. Let's do it.
Are you looking to grow your business and your mindset alongside a fun and awesome pack? Grab a chair and your favorite beverage and join Mike Ashebrainer, the business mechanic, and his win-win network for the Hounds of Business Happy Hour.
Here we are. I think I got internet issues. I got more than that, but internet issues my primary issue right now. All right. So we got to go over these amazing people, hounds and friends of the hounds. That's who we are. We like to spotlight and push up other people. You know, most of the folks that I know, a lot of the folks in business and life, they do great things. They have great abilities, and the problem is they're in a cave with the lights off. If you do great life changing stuff and nobody can see it, well, what's it for, right? You didn't paint the Mona Lisa and hide it away. That would be awful, right? So that's what we want to talk about. Jen Drummett. Oh wow. Just go to jendrummett.com. Go ahead and scan this QR code, guys. This book is amazing. The more I read, the more I can't put it down. This is about life and business and getting real with yourself and overcoming obstacles of all things in life. Because dadgummit, we're going to have a shit ton of them, right? So this is somebody who has walked the walk and talks the talk, and I respect her like no other. So everybody go out there, go to jendrummett.com. Her newsletters are probably one of the few I actually read. All right. They're so daggum good because she's been there. She's been there, she's done that, and she shares her story. Undeniable that she lives what she has done and she lives the talk. You know what I'm trying to say. I can't believe that I have the honor to be friends with this person and help them in their book launch. This will change your day. Go buy it now. It is unbelievable. So thank you, Jen. You're a great friend of the Hounds. And gosh, this is a life-changing book for anybody that just wants to live a better quality of life and be happier on the inside. I'm telling you. Go check this out. There's the next button. All right, there's my buddy. There's my BFF. You know, he mailed me my Valentine today. So, Gary, hey, I like Russell Stover's, Gary. All right, so if you give me some Elmers in the mail, we're gonna have a problem. I don't know if I can put this up here next week. All right. But anyway, the guy's great. I think I'm gonna get my autograph copy. So now I'm feeling pretty good about me. But Gary has been in the law. He's been an attorney for 45 years. All right. And he still is. And not just an attorney, a very successful attorney. You got to kind of put that in there, right? It's like, hey, he 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 chooses to coach other attorneys with his life experience. He coaches them on balancing life and figuring out what their goals are. Because let's face it, most people go to college, get a degree, and make money, right? And then we go, oh, this is really not for me. I don't really like this too much, right? And you feel stuck. If you feel stuck, get a hold of Gary, GaryMiles.net, unstick yourself. Okay. Amateurs do things alone. And I was an amateur for most of my life. As soon as I started realizing that top level business pros, executives, athletes have top level coaches and multiple coaches, then my life started to change beyond belief. All right. Being around the Hounds, being around all these amazing people, it rubs off on you. And by the way, don't tell them that the reason I do these live streams is to get free info. I don't know if they figured that out yet. So hopefully Gary don't bill me because I probably owe him 10 grand already. So again, if you're stuck, he's got a book. Start with the book. Get some value out of that book, and then reach out to Gary. He's got a lot of good stuff, heart of gold. And hey, congratulations! He's got a grandbaby. Got another grandbaby today. So congratulations, Gary, man. I know you're on cloud nine. Uh, Beautiful time. Valentine's Day. How cool is that? All right. So we appreciate what you do for everyone, helping people have a better quality of life. Oh my goodness. Who is that? Look at you all happy and stuff. All right. So I guess I'll talk for you. People, passion, and purpose. Uh, but you really honed in on something. You found a niche. It found you, or
I
niche for my
sure
northern friends.
did. Yeah,
You want
I
to share a
sure
little bit? You
did.
don't have to.
Oh, yeah, of course I can. Actually, I've been a mindset coach for a long, long time, but you know how it is, Mike, right? When you're trying to speak to everybody, you end up talking to no one at all. You're reaching absolutely nobody. So I worked with the great, 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 beyond belief, great Tanya from Brand Face. And we worked, I think we're on our sixth meeting already. and just to zero in on who I am and what I can bring to the world, right? Because this is what niching and getting your message to be as precise as possible. So I completely did a 180. I'm still a mindset coach, and it's still about mindset. It's just that now I specify helping team sales team managers just get their sales rebels a little bit more into check, because sales rebels want to rule the world. They want to do what they want to do, and they don't want to be at the office at 2:14 on a Tuesday when it's beautiful outside. And the sales manager feels stuck between higher management and what the rebels want. So this is when I come in and I help them figure it out. And I still have my show every Thursday morning, 10 Central. Tomorrow I have a great guest, Rob. And it's about people, because business is about people. And more business is about relationships, and it's about people. So tune in, guys. Thank you
Yeah, it
for
is.
the
It is because
opportunity.
you got a manager of a sales manager. They're herding cats that make income, and it gets real hairy. So
Yeah.
look, go get a professional that can help you, because honestly, in my experience, a lot of sales managers, it's kind of on autopilot. Like, you could pretty
Yeah.
much play Tetris half the day if you got your team out there killing it, and so, it's not like regular employees. These are kind of
No.
entrepreneur, commission based. They're going to go do it. Yeah. So reach out, learn some things. She's got an audio room coming up. Isabel does. That's like crowd surfing with the band, right? Like, this is a real fun time to get to know people, network, and learn some things that can help propel your business. So thank you for that. Who
Thank
else?
you, Mike.
All right, our Australian wonder, Christine Bell. Wow. All right. So a lot of folks who are already killing it want to grow their business and expand it, right? Like, I don't want to be just this person in this niche anymore. I've dominated this thing I do, and now it's time to expand my business.
Hmm.
And that's where Christine, business strategist, she paints a picture, you see it. Oh my gosh. So, and in fact, I'm pulling her into projects that I'm working on with some top level people, because they need more than just a here or there fix. They need an entire aerial view of how to expand this business from here to here. So Christine Bell, number one in market research, understands what needs to be done. Um, and entrepreneurs, we go out there and we try to figure stuff out, using our trade and skill. And then we realize the employer we used to work for did all that other stuff, and we got to figure it out. So if you're kind of stuck and lost like most of us, go check Christine Bell's content. Go check out her webinar. It was actually the most fun webinar, and people got so much out of it. If you're just kind of like, what's next? What am I doing? How come this ain't working? This is the person to go to. So thank you, Christine, for helping me personally, and uh, being a great part of my offering to the clients that come to me, because I don't have everything they need, but dadgummit, I got the Hounds of Business. I've got somebody who can solve that problem, right? And speaking of that, look, hey, don't do things alone. We are evolving and transforming like wildfire right now. It's writings on the wall. In fact, we were doing it. Now I finally caught up to it. Like, it was already taken off. I was like, oh, wow, maybe I should do something to help it go forward in a better way. But listen, the networking events, man, we just had some. They were stellar, unique. Christine Bell and Isabel, she whiz, man. This thing, Dr. New, we got some of the best and brightest people working on
CJ.
that. CJ, oh, we can go on and on. I
Yeah.
love them all. And people just went nuts over it. It was great. All right. Because we're the Hounds of Business, not the Hounds of just leisure and having fun. We like to do that, but dadgummit. Publicity Hub, Level Up Academy, Dr. CJ. Goodness, man. That's like throwing 10 gallons of gasoline on a campfire. All right. So we're exploding. So it doesn't matter where you're at. If you're still hanging on to your job, trying to start a business or thinking about it, or you're already made 10 million, you're trying to figure out how to expand to 20 million. Hounds of Business is where it's at. Lots and lots of great things in the making. By March, it'll be overhauled and transformed. So anybody in the Hounds, hey, type out Hounds. You don't have to just reach out to me. Reach out to Isabel, Lion. There's tons of Hounds in here. D. Grant Smith, Welcome Wagon leader. Melissa, Christine. Hey, just reach out. Say, what's all this Hound stuff about? Who's that goofball in the camo hat? They'll tell you. All right. But here it is. Stop doing stuff alone. Stop being stuck. All right. Reach out, be surrounded by people who will push you up, not judge you, move forward, share resources. All right. Become your best self. That's what we're about in a nutshell. All right. And we're getting stuff done. We're getting stuff done in nano speed. Like already people making money and moving forward. This is insane. So join us now. You won't be sorry. All right. And oh, and by the way, who should join us? Well, let's start with good people. If you're a good heart-centered person, but you want to make things happen in your business, you want to transform the world, make an impact. Yeah, you come to the right place, right? The informal way I put it is redneck Camelot. There you go. So, all right. And this leads me to one of our amazing guests today, friend of the or in the Hounds. All right, amazing Hound made this available to me. I am writing in my first anthology. I can't believe they wrote more books than I've read in the last 5 years. Right? And I'm making up for it now. I'm reading more. Susannah, don't yell at me. All right, but this is amazing. This is beyond boundaries, thriving in life's gray zone. Here's what I like about this. Right? You're not listening to somebody who did this 20 years ago, recall the old days. You're watching people from rags to riches, real time, right? People who are going through it now, who are hitting next levels. It is absolutely amazing. And this is not just going to be a book about a story about a stranger. This is a book about people who are saying, look, here's where you're going to be at one day, and let me help you not do the mistake that I made, right? Let me help you along that journey. There's going to be problem solving. Like, hey, here's what I faced. And yeah, you're going to see my story in there. All right, here's what I'm facing. Here's what I faced. And here's my best advice. So you don't have to struggle as bad. All right. So this is not just a book about heart. It is, but there is going to be practical advice and tips and things that are useful for any business person or person in general that just wants to be better. All right. So with that, let's go ahead and bring up the great Susannah Dawn so she can talk about her daggone self because I can't do it as well. Are you with us? There you are. How are you?
How's it going?
Fantastic. Now that you're here, he's going to shut up a little bit.
All right,
That's
Susannah,
why
you
he
got a
brings
lot of
me
stuff.
on, honey. It's for the entertainment.
So let me do at least a half-ass job on introducing Susannah Dawn. Oh gosh, have we met a year ago at least, right? You have your
Almost.
whole thing, which box shredding, right? That's what I call it. You know, getting out of the box and elaborate on that because almost anybody can relate to what you're talking about. It doesn't matter what your background, walk of life. We all from birth, right? We're all told what we should be and we're kind of pushed in one direction. And, you know, I talk to people all the time. Well, you're supposed to be a housewife or whatever it is. But that's not what you really want to be, right? And people kind of box you into all these labels and all this crap. And then one day you put a camo hat on, you just say hell with it, right? And then you attract people like y'all who also want to do it. So that's my interpretation of it. But tell the folks, you know, a little bit about who you are, what they can tap into, and how they can get out of that daggone box.
Sure, because it's like you said, all my life, and I know many others the same, people are telling us who we are, what we're supposed to do, what's expected of us, based on their perception, based on what they think, they believe, whatever. And they really don't even listen to us. So who should know us better than us? I've always known who I was at my core. And there's a reason why my motto is I'm not what I used to be, yet I am who I've always been. It's knowing yourself, but then when everybody else is saying you need to be whatever, then that's where we start losing our own confidence. We start contorting ourselves to fit in the box that everybody else tells us to go in. Or it's like imposter syndrome and our fear crawls us into a box. So everything I talk about is being on stage, and the real bottom line of what I'm looking at as my vision is a world where women break free from the confines that society placed on us to reclaim control over our lives. And that's what moving beyond boxes is. It's the awareness that we're stuck, the awareness of who's kind of controlling us, and the awareness that we can take the control back and start taking the steps to move beyond the box, to reinvent our lives. And this is all stuff that I've already been through. I went into 2022 with a total reinvention, saying, I'm done with boxes.
And to me, Susannah, you always say it, first of all, so beautifully, but also you always speak about awareness, because that is what it's about. Because we can spend an entire lifetime in a box because we don't even know we are in a box. So just actually recognize it, that we are trapped in limiting beliefs, or in any kind of preset way of thinking. And it's until we realize that, that's when we can break free and break that glass ceiling and say, the hell with it, I'm just going to do me this time. And you
Well,
do that. You're such an inspiration, Susannah. I every time you open your mouth, I shut the hell up, and that's no small feat.
well, and one of the things I'll say is we know that we're stuck. We know something's wrong, and sometimes we know exactly what it is. But the problem is, or the reality is, if knowing is half the battle, because we know we should do lots of stuff, but we never do it. So if knowing is half the battle, awareness is the first step. That's how we go beyond the box. And we need that ability to change our perspectives. And that's where I come in as well. It's working one-on-one. I could work with groups, or even in an organization, to create an environment where we can drop the walls, we can stop hiding whatever it is that we're hiding behind, whatever it is that we're hiding of ourselves, be it neurodiverse, having a non-regional accent, so many things, that when we can stop hiding, we're not wasting energy building and maintaining the walls. We've freed that energy up to be creative, to be engaged in the workplace, and to ultimately, for an organization, to help the organization's bottom line, because our well-being is growing.
I love everything you say, but I
So
always
on that note, I had to bring up Danielle. Danielle, how are you today?
I'm unmuting myself. I'm doing great. Happy Love Day to everyone. Thanks for asking.
Boy, Cupid hates me. He fires a like flaming arrow at me. He don't stop. I can't win for losing. All right, so I'll get off. Hey, audience, hey, don't pitch slap with a P, but ask questions, network, make use of this time. Right, get to know each other, follow each other. Right, ask questions here when you hear something that resonates with you. This is what it's for. It's your time. We appreciate you spending it with us and get to know each other. All right. And thank you for spending your time on Valentine's Day. Maybe you got love out there, right? Maybe you don't have somebody right now. Hey, hint, hint. There's D. Grant Smith over. All right, so I did say that. Yeah. Oh, he's gonna be commenting now. Hey, Lion, get ready. Get ready for D's comments on that one. Superman's in the house, ladies. All right. What else is to be said? All right. Well, I need a new welcome wagon leader. All right. Anybody can apply. So, Danielle, tell us a little bit about yourself and your business, because it's really in the making. It's really special, and you have a special partner in that business. Tell us about it.
I do. So, everyone, I'm Danielle Manawis. My co-owner and I, who is my mom, own Castaneda and Manawis Consulting, CMC for short, where we specialize in workplace challenges and simplifying them. And we pride ourselves on casting clarity in the complexity of usually human resources, but business overall. So we provide straightforward and effective solutions to steer organizations towards success. But what I'm really excited about, and what really I think sets us apart, is we believe that empowering leaders to start with their hearts and lead with empathy is essential to transform organizations and work cultures to increase overall organizational health, and can have a powerful impact on productivity, efficiency, and what we all refer to as ROI, the bottom line. So that's what we're all about. And more so in my business, in life, this is how I am. connecting with people authentically and leading with my heart, normally with my story. That's what I'm about.
Yeah, very different than the HR experience I had back when I was in corporate. All right, very, very, very different. I appreciate it. Very good, different, and I think that's unique because you're not just in there trying to just get bottom line done and cut resources and people. You're really just trying to save headaches for everybody from the top down of the organization, right, to the regular people that work there. That's what you're trying to do, right? They hire great talent, things happen, but they need process in place so they don't have to spend their energy on nonsense, right? Did I get that right in layman's southern terms?
Right. And that's what's important in organizations, I think, is oftentimes we're thinking about productivity and efficiency. But what if we gave more value and empathy to those workers so that they see value and that they're able to do their jobs because they're seen, not just coming to work, but coming to work because they care about your mission and your objectives. And how can they care about your mission and your objectives and your core values if you don't value them and their core values? They should be aligned, if you ask me. And so it's really implementing. This is shout out to Susannah, either policy or guidelines within in workplaces and training, if you will, to really guide leaders and really get in there to see how we can increase productivity at whichever level that community or that entity is at. So that's what we're about.
Oh, it's wonderful. Hey, here's, and I want y'all to chime in, Isabel and Susanna, and the audience. I can't remember where I heard this. I love it. It goes something like the difference between transformational and transactional leadership. When the cat's away, the mice will play. Right? That's old school traditional management. Hey, the boss is sick. It's like in school when the substitute teacher gets there. He's not really teaching, right? We're not listening, right? And we're just running around. We're not doing our work because the teacher's not here. All right, transformational, and this is where I'm at. I lead a volunteer army. They don't have to be here at all. It's a different ball game, right? Right? Like you try to keep people here in this regard. So when the cat's away, the mice do what the cat wants them to do because they have a shared vision and they own the mission. That's it. I don't leave and people do what they do. It's actually better sometimes when I'm not there. That's what's funny. Like the networking event, yeah, they like, hey, you stay out. I come back and said, wow, this is great. Because I'm not a network event guy, but I have people that can do that, right? So I outsource and I trust, and you empower your team, and that's what you're all about: is teaching people how to empower and get that shared vision. Because look, audience, tell me, have you? Don't call out your current employer, right? It's not good.
Yeah.
But have you ever seen in your career a mission statement on a wall that is absolutely garbage, meaningless stuff? Like,
All
ask
the
anybody,
time.
ask an upper level manager, "What's your mission statement?" He gonna have to pull the cheat sheet out. He gets his wallet out. It's in here somewhere, right? And that's what I'm talking about. So, ladies, chime in. I mean, because you both are professionals in different wheelhouses in business. What is your take on, like? Here's what I take on it. I think this whole like social responsibility has became actual mission and not just a PR stunt by a lot of major corporations. And I think COVID had a lot to do with that. So you see companies not doing it just because it's cool. They're actually realizing that the consumer and the employees demand that you actually give a crap about us and our culture. What's your take on it?
I heard the only thing I want to say about that, Mike, is I heard Richard Branson in an interview saying, "My job as a leader is to come up with a vision, explain it extremely well to people who are smarter than me, and then get the hell out of the way." Because when you hire professionals and you pay them as professionals, that's what happens. They will take your vision and they will build it. And I mean, how many billions of dollars has Virgin, everything, airline, he's got everything, like he's into everything now. And that's I think that's the future of every single company, because it's the human. Business is about people. We said that in the intro. It's about people. And you don't treat the client is not always right. Treat your employees right, and they will work for you, and they will treat the clients correctly as well. So I think that this is the future. What do you think, Danielle?
Oh, I completely agree. I would say that people are the heart of every organization. And if you're going to invest anything, invest in that, right? And when you do, like as Izzy said, is then your company is taken care of, your people, your clients, and that's what it's all about. And that mission should be spread all over the world, right? Then your customers feel it, right? And I dare say that your money goes up when you do that. So it's about people. They want to feel genuine connection, valued, seen. Your employees want to be valued and seen. So what if we started with love? What if we started with empathy? What if that was my loved one or someone I cared about it? If you say that it's going to be different than how you approached a client, then we need to reassess, right? Because that might affect how you're dealing with clients. So completely agree.
Change everything.
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to change everything. How it has, let me try to switch my brain to English now. What's your experience like when you walk into an organization and try to explain that to maybe a middle minute management that feels a little bit like my clients stuck between the rock and hard place? They want to do it, they don't necessarily have the tools, but yet higher management is not cooperating. So how do you deal with that?
I think that buy-in is important. And so for me, that message needs to come from the top, right? The top of the organization, the C-suite, if you will, the executive team needs to be bought into that, right? But there are ways. I mean, I think leaders, whether management title or not, can have leadership qualities and do it in a grassroots way so that it makes the C-suite listen. Kind of going around your question, if you will.
No, it's okay. That's perfect.
But this could be avoided can be avoided or prevented if there are clear, articulated mission core values that are shared, like we're talking about, so that we all know we're invested in that. That's our mission. That's our goal, to go towards that, right? And when we do that, then there's no convincing because it's a part of what we're doing. People believe it, like the Hounds, right? Nobody's holding us hostage saying, come to this show at 7:00 your time, 4:00 my time. And so valuing that mission and objectives to connect, right? It's the same thing that you would do with an organization. People first.
It's yeah. How about you, Susannah? How do you, when you get into a corporation or an organization and you want to help them figure out that perhaps they would benefit from treating each individual to their strength instead of trying to fit them in the box? How do you get that done?
Well, and it's even more than that. It's the environment. It's creating that environment where people feel safe. Because if they feel safe, they're not building the walls around themselves to hide, then they're able to no longer feel like they have to fit a box. They can be themselves. They can share ideas that will benefit the company, but oftentimes we'll have an idea that if we voice it, it might actually create a window through our walls into something that we're hiding, because people would see that the only way you would know that is because you are neurodiverse or whatever. And so being able to go into that organization and get them to see that the well-being of everybody, the ability for them to just be themselves is where the value is, because that's where the well-being is. That's where you drop the walls, engage with each other, and when everybody's engaged, they're talking to each other, they're working with each other, that's only going to benefit the company bottom line as well. So the organization, it creates a win-win, and it's being able to show the organization that well-being isn't just some word, some thing that somebody came up with that is going to hamstring the organization. It actually has value, and you want to be able to show that value. You want to show what it means to stop covering and use all that energy to engage.
Yeah,
Right.
I got a question. I got a question for you. So, and Isabel and Lion, he said he don't feel good, so we'll bug him at the end because I like his mic drop moments at the end. Um, so military, right? Cavalry officer,
Yep.
right? This is big deal. And Isabel, right? Air Force, right? So when you lead people, they have to listen to you. It's the military. They're going to get in trouble, right? Like that, and I know a lot of military people. They have to follow you. But then I know really exceptional. J. Scott Heathman goes by Scott Heathman, 1T. That guy, anybody would follow that guy for anything. I mean, he could be at McDonald's and he have the best like running McDonald's on planet Earth, man. He doesn't because he's just that type of leader. So when you talk about have to follow, versus, yeah, I'm going to go to hell and back with this person, right? So military and business, do you see any difference, or did you lead the same way in both arenas?
There's really no difference, because oftentimes it is that leadership. I can look at the brigade that I had. One brigade commander, I was his personnel officer, so I was like the head of HR for a 400 soldier battalion. And with him, you he was that type that you would follow wherever he said. If he said
Mhm.
we're going to hell, then we're going to hell. Of course, in the cavalry, you never make it to hell. You always stop at Fiddler's Green, and you'll never finish the trip. So look at Fiddler's Green yourself. But that he was that type of person that you knew that he cared about you. You knew that he liked to have fun. He wanted to be. He wanted everybody to feel comfortable. He expects you to do your job, but it's like we're all a team. We're all together. And the one who replaced him, he is not somebody that I would follow if I didn't have to. I was a troop commander under him, under the second one, but he didn't have the persona. Sometimes it's not even having. He's not really within the training. So while I'm in a cavalry unit, his background was law. So the first commander, I grew up with him basically. I knew him from when I started as a junior lieutenant. Nobody could miss him. He was that kind of a person. The one behind him, he was a law focus. He was much more holding back. He was not the pick everybody up and even pick them up and carry them on his back if he had to. That's what the first one would do. So that's very similar to business. The person leading is the one that you want, that you're really willing to follow.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I got to real quick because I want Danielle's opinion. But on the fire department, right? Well, this guy, two things. There was two bosses I had that were unbelievable. The one guy was cool as a ceiling fan. Like his name was Chad. He was the only one never had trouble in this big giant company. Because if you needed a time off, Chad be like, "Yeah, we don't need you. Go home." So nobody ever messed with Chad, and Chad never had to worry about people taking long lunch breaks or anything because Chad gave you what you needed, and he was cool as a cucumber. So when crunch time came, Chad was the first one to get the airplanes loaded every time. Was no mystery why, right? Because we like Chad. But we're not going to take advantage of a guy who has our back, right? And in the fire department, same way. I spent 8 years in the fire service, so there was a guy that came in and they just said, oh yeah, that guy used to be a fireman. They made him a lieutenant and they threw him in with me. The very first, now I've been actively leading the whole time. So I had a little ego problem. I ain't like that. Like, who is this guy? Right. So he's got a bachelor's degree and now all of a sudden he's a damn line officer. Right. Like, so anyway, so he put him in there. Long story short, this was a 4-car garage. All right. The hose went dead. So he grabbed it. The hose, no water. Now, this is not a good situation, right? It's like being in battle without ammo. That's not good. So we back out. This guy, I turned around and this guy's not there anymore. There you go. That says it all, right? So the last thing you want, you can't quit on the job like that when you're in fire service and military. So my point is this. Who is your favorite boss? Who's your favorite boss or leader back in the day? And I want the audience to chime in on this. Who is it and why? To me, it was Chad. Because he was cool. He just, hey, I know we got rules, but yeah, you can have some time off. So when Chad needed to get the airplane loaded, I went into overdrive. That's why I like Chad. He never had to manage me. He just was cool, and I like the guy. So that's all it took for me. I'm easy to please. What about you, Danielle? Who's your favorite boss or leader and why?
My favorite boss and leader would be my mom, who at one time, I think, had was over a large entity here in California that has over 20,000 employees. And I won't tell which one, but you could figure out, if you'd like to. But through all of that, right, because I was with her, I grew with her as a child, and she worked in all these positions, started from the bottom to the top. And the reason why I respect her so much, because she's fair. She's hard on you, but she'll tell you the truth. And most of all, she is the most empathetic servant, what they call servant leader, which not my favorite term in the world. But she would be the one advocating for the person they're trying to fire. She's in there saying, well, what about this? Like, literally living her life and thriving in the gray in this heavy bureaucratic system. My mom is my favorite because she is fair. She is a boss lady, and she just overcome many, many odds. And so she's my favorite leader for many reasons beyond those, but my mom and my co-owner. Wouldn't think of anyone else that would advise me besides her.
Oh,
That's beautiful.
that's nice. Yeah, I don't want to follow. I'm glad I went first. I know I didn't want to follow that. Who wants to follow that? Daggum.
Oh, I can. There's 2 things that I want to say to your question, Mike. The first one is when it came to military, one of the things that the military brought to my professional life is to learn to work well with people I don't like. Because when you trust your life when you put your life into the hands of somebody, it doesn't matter if you like them, but you have to trust them. So that was one of the really, really big lesson that I actually bring in my business now, is you don't have to like your coworkers as long as you trust that they're doing their best and they're doing a good job, and that's it. And the first great influence that still has an influence on me was my first sergeant. And I mean, I was 17, she was 24. I mean, she wasn't old, but it was just her natural demeanor. Day one, I walked in her office, and all, in uniform, and I may have reeked a little bit of alcohol from the night before. That's a rumor. But and we sat down and she just said, this is what I expect. You either work with me, we work together, or you're going to work for me. And the choice is yours. So that to me was, okay, so I actually have power in this. And I think that applies to everything. And while I have the mic, I want to say hello to the people in the comments, because there's a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. New, D. Grant, honey, I love you. You know that. Oh my God, Mark Reed showed up. And I saw so many other people, and I don't see the comments anymore. Corey, I think, was one. And Scott Raven, thank you. My friend Christine is there. DK is here. Who else? Help me out. Gabe is here. Jackie, honey, Jackie. Hi, hon.
All right.
So
Hey,
I
real
just
quick,
wanted to say hello to all of these beautiful people, and thank you for coming. That's it.
we're so we lost control of the comments because I was like, we got Corey. Who did I say? We got Corey Foster here. Thank you so much for being here. Again,
Yeah,
have
there's so
fun,
many
ask
people.
questions.
We have hang on, we have Corey. We have, who did you write? You wrote it. Damn.
Amber,
Yeah, Amber Chanda, I
Andra,
think that's how you pronounce her name. Dr. New, we said
Chris.
hello.
Yay!
Yeah.
Well,
So
CJ's here
while we're
too.
Yeah,
Yeah, Dr. CJ.
CJ. Oh, honey.
while our controls are all busted, um, let's just put that up there because I want to know who your favorite leader was and why. But let's switch gears just a little bit and hone in on this. And
Hang
audience,
on, Mike.
chime in.
Mike, sorry, I am cutting you off. I'm sorry. Susanna didn't answer.
Really?
I thought I
Who your
already
Even-
did.
favorite leader was?
Well, that
Oh, she
basically,
did.
I answered it before Mike asked the question.
Ah, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
she did.
I'm gonna stop
It's
interrupting.
going to be the same thing. You want me to say it all over again?
No, honey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mike.
Hey, finally, I get scolded and I didn't do nothing wrong. Wow, it's a Valentine's miracle. Dadgummit. All right. Hey, I wanna put that on the fridge. Somebody take a screenshot. Hey, Jackie, take a screenshot of this win for me and send it to me. All right. So let's dig a little deeper again because this is applicable to, in my opinion, this stuff is applicable to relationships, friendships, business. There's a lot of overlap. So looking out for each other, right? We touched on it, but how do we? And let's go to Danielle. That's her wheelhouse. How do we, as people and business and entrepreneurs, and especially companies, how do we foster safe relationships, safe, deeper conversations, right? Having deeper conversations versus artificial conversations and looking out for each other in the workplace.
Yes. I think the key and the secret sauce is to be yourself. And when you show up as yourself, like many of my friends and many of the people in the Hounds, be yourself. That's the best. That to me is your superpower. Show up as yourself, and it just, like what Susannah was saying earlier, just fosters and sparks the ability to be seen and valued, and then sparks creativity, innovation. So be yourself. That's my best advice. That's what I say to people mentoring them to interview. When I walk in, that's what I would say. Be yourself.
Connect. That's what I mean. Even if you're interviewing somebody, even if you're a boss, try to connect with somebody. Like
Yeah.
it's so much that Chad could connect. Chad understood that, hey, the baby's got diarrhea. I should go home early. Like, he's like, yeah, he's got empathy, right? Like, we don't really need you. It's like other bosses might do it because they need to save an hour of the work day or something, right? Like it's not the same thing. When someone's blowing smoke up your butt, especially in a bureaucratic way. And so much of this nonsense, especially in HR, in my opinion, can be alleviated with just kind of
Mm.
giving a crap. Like, really try to care about someone else for a change. It's so much easier. So what do you think there, Susanna? What's your opinion on this? Like, how can we foster, safe and deep, you know, relationships and conversations, even when it may not be the norm?
Those conversations are going to be able to do it safe. It really does take being your authentic self. You've got to know who you are before you start having these conversations. You've got to be open. And the thing about it, I mean, one of the things we've talked about before going into this show was that friendship aspect as well. And knowing when you can go into a conversation with someone who you really do have that connection, that friendship. It makes it so much easier because you can have a misstep, but you understand who each other is. You're willing to overlook some of the missteps or some of the misunderstandings because you can talk through them, you can work through them, because both sides are much more in tune to each other. Having that friendship, and this is really something that I've seen firsthand, especially whether it's in the workplace or even just going someplace. Because I'll take this right back to going to Podfest. I couldn't be in safer hands than to be with one of my besties and to know that I could walk into an area that I actually had some concerns about, but I knew that CJ had my back. And by the time that trip was done, not only did I even feel more close to her, I watched some of my own walls that were still left over from fear and stuff fall away. So I know this probably goes a bit off of the question, but that connection, being able to have a connection, being able to have empathy with each other, and empathy is much different than sympathy. Being able to feel each other. And sometimes it's like we can feel each other even though we're 1,000 miles away. We can feel that something's going off that's just a little bit off because the other person they're not the way that we are used to. And so it's just checking in and say, what's going on? What's up? And find out what's going on and be there for each other. And that's the most thing. It is all authenticity. And that's why I also say, you see everything I have, move beyond boxes and shine. That shine, that's really means be your authentic self unapologetically.
Yeah, Isabel's going to say, well, what I like to know what Susannah Dawn thinks about this. Well, I look, you made one mistake in 4 months. I'm going to give you crap about it, all right? Because you don't make many mistakes, so we can laugh at this. If you made mistakes all day, I'd just be like, oh, don't say nothing. I heard it.
I don't think I'd
But-
be here.
Don't worry, I got your back on this one, Isabel, because
Sweetheart,
there's
I
no
know.
way that he knew asking that question that I had answered the question before he asked it.
No, he's trying to pretend that he did, but he didn't. You're right about that, sister. You're true.
Man, I
You're
don't have
really right about that. But it's okay. He likes to pull my chain, and that's all right. It's all in good
I
fun.
do. Yeah. Again, I don't. Again, it's
Hey, do I
simple.
get to answer this question before you start ranting?
No.
Oh, okay.
People
I'm gonna
people
mute
just.
my.
Well, it's funny because she just talked about empathy, and I'm over here beating you up. But I would, even when you're having a problem, send a text message. I've had an interaction with somebody. I said, "Look, I'm not okay. All right, I'm in Nutterville right now, so don't take it personally. I love you, and I'll be right back when I'm kind of worth dealing with." Like just that right there, man, is enough for someone to go, "Wow, that was very thoughtful." Because miscommunication happens too often when you're just taking it out on somebody and you're not telling them what's going on. Just say, "Hey, I'm not okay. So I need to go do some stuff, but nothing wrong with you. I appreciate you. We're good." Just do that. Hell, that's coming from me. I'm that enlightened. Anybody could do that. So what is your unmute yourself there, Isabel, and please share with us
I
what
was
you're thinking.
coughing. Hey, by the way, Mark Reed, I'm gonna kick your butt, just so you know, because he says that you guys need to lay off me because I'm already dealing with the fact that I'm Canadian. I'd rather be Canadian than come from a lot of other countries out there. But that's okay. What was the question again, Mike?
I'm not helping you, Susanna. You better help her. I'm not doing it.
Oh, it doesn't really matter, Isabel. You just run with it.
He wants me to run with it. No, seriously, the serious answer is how do you connect with people? How do you build relationship? Well, you give a shit. Start giving a shit about other people. And that's it. And when you don't make it about you and you make it about them, see how quickly they're going to want to do something for you. Care, truly connect. To truly connect with somebody, you just need to care. That's it. It's as easy as that. So we humans, we all get like that. We want to create complicated things, and because our ego needs to prove that it's worthy of being alive. First of all, just the fact that you're on this planet makes you worthy of being here. So just care, serve, bring people with you, rise them up with you. And even if you're down, well, I'm not preaching that you become a stepping stool for everybody. No, but while you're raising yourself, bring people with you. So that's my trick, is give a shit. That's it. Oh, Dr. New, I love you. See, Mike, some people are sweet with me. I just wanted to let you know that.
Look, I say it again. You're my emotional support alligator, and I love you deeply. Yep.
Mike starts calling me an alligator. Do I look like a freaking alligator?
Alligator.
It's a Southern thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Susannah.
We all like alligators.
Honest,
Alligator don't hurt nobody.
What'd you say?
I said we all love alligators. They don't bother anybody. But if you go pulling on its tail, you're gonna get rolled. Like, you just gotta watch it right and treat it right.
I'm the sweetest person on earth until you pee my
I just wanted to welcome everyone to Nutterville who was here.
I am your captain.
Lion, you had a
welcome to
hard time with
Nutterville.
this restream, didn't you?
Welcome to Nutterville, everyone.
It's a great place. But the other thing too is talk. I think we need to take a little bit more into the importance. We've talked empathy, but the importance of being heart-centered in all of this.
Amen.
Because if we don't have that heart-centered approach to others, then it's really hard to lift up beyond just picking somebody up, but then you just kind of walk away. Heart-centered is creating much more of a connection and wanting to take care of others and doing what you can, which can be a little, it can be a lot. It just is, or since I'm only like 2 miles from the world headquarters, you just do it.
Hold up. I'm sorry. Look, hey, it's Valentine's Day, whatever. Did I just see someone called Dr. New a redneck? Is that what I just saw? Where is that?
No, Dr. New is saying something about redneck though.
She said someone called her a redneck.
You called her a redneck.
No, someone called redneck. I didn't redneck. There are rednecks everywhere. Like it was Benita. It's like, hey, there's more rednecks in Alberta than there is in the South. I'm like, really? And she was right.
Oh, yes, there are.
And they are proud.
Redneck country there, let me tell you.
So if I ever wanted to trade my shed in for a little ice box, right, I'll go up
yeah,
there.
you wouldn't enjoy the weather though. Alberta
it's just like going to Dallas was okay, but I was trying to find a way to go to Fort Worth, right? Because that's probably where I fit in way better. Where the dinner plate belt buckles, right? Like gold championship belt buckle. That's where I was like, where are those guys at? I need to go over there. But yeah, this is fun. Let's wrap up with this. I want you all, and I'm going to get back here and hang out with Lion before I get destroyed. Different levels of friendships or, business relationships, right? When you're working with people, let's go to friendship. It's Valentine's Day. So when you're working with people, especially entrepreneurs, because let's get real, we work with friends, right? We work with people we like. So what do you think about the ability to bounce ideas off of each other, get different viewpoints, right? That kind of stuff, and learning from each other. What are some key points and takeaways to your experience that helps you do that in a healthy way? Because let's get real. I mean, I'm the minority in the Hounds of Business, right? I started this thing and there's like 2 of me in there. So you got to be real tactful and open and have the right mindset to take on so many different personalities, different nationalities, right? And just viewpoints. And somehow we do it. So, what is your take on how to best be there but disagree, right? Like, how do you do healthy conversations about tough subjects? Let's start with Danielle. She's been quiet for a while. Let's call her out.
No, I think same thing that I've been saying. You do it from a heart-centered place. You learn someone, you connect with them truly, and then it grows into something beautiful. I would say that about my relationship with Sister Susannah Dawn and Dr. CJ while going through something really tough right now with my family. They have been what I told Susannah is a floaty in my life and have really pulled me up because you still see this smile on my face. I choose that happiness and having friends like that know you, check in with you, means so much and help you to get up the next day, to run your business, to show up for your business, to show up for yourself. So I'm not sure if I answered too well, but that's what I was thinking. My floaties, my sisters, mean
You can't
everything.
answer worse than me. So it's all that's why people love my show. They're like, well, is that a bad answer? I'm like, not compared to the host, right? It's all right. No, it's from the heart. It's always good from the heart. It's your experience. Like, you can't put a quantity. Well, that's a bad experience. It's just an experience. It's like a doorstop. I'm not mad at it, sad at it. It's just there, right? And that's where it's what we do with it that matters. So let me expand on this. I'm going to challenge these two. All right. This is what I discovered recently because I think you already figured this out. A lot of us in business, we have to, right? Like return on investment, KPIs, this kind of stuff. But it gets too easy to try to control outcomes, right? That like I do something and I expect it to go this way and it doesn't go. Matter of fact, go the other way, right? How do you do that? Because the only thing I could figure out was screw outcomes, right? Forget outcomes. Once it's out there, we can try again differently and learn from it. But what I learned is values, right? That's the only thing I can control. My internal response, my external response, and anchor that from values. But not everybody's going to share my values. So, what is your take on, you know, saying to hell with outcomes, but leaning in on your values when you don't know what else to do? Because we face decisions all day long we don't know how to handle. So, audience, chime in on this. What do you do when you don't know what the hell to do, especially when it comes to interpersonal relationship?
Me?
Susanna, you
Oh,
want to
not
take
all at once. Yeah, nobody's like, I don't want to touch that question. I want to do questions. It's not the wheel of fortune. You don't get to spin again. All right, dadgummit. So,
Uh,
what do you do when you're uncomfortable in a relationship, business discussion, whatever it may be? What's your go-to? How do you say, I don't know what the hell to do, but this is what I'm going to do anyway? What drives that? For me, it's values. I know what I'm about. I'm going to go on this angle. And if nobody likes it, I must be in the wrong damn room. I'm gonna go find a room where people can go, yeah, we get it. So how do you guys handle interpersonal communications when it's not going too well?
for me, I would say that's when you go to your board, and I call it my board, but that's my mom. That's a Susanna. Shout out to my sister Shonda and Dr. CJ. You go to your board and you ask, and they'll tell you, and they remind you who you are. They give you courage. So the people in your board, your circle, should do that for you, should value you and see you. And that's what I do when I don't know what I have been the last since January 18th. My life has been flipped upside down, and many a times I have called out to that board to remind me and to encourage me. So that's what I would say. Go to the
Love it.
people you love and trust.
Yeah, seek guidance. Sometimes saying nothing's better than doing like I do, just blah, right? So you should say nothing and go back. And very few things need an immediate response. That's what I've noticed. I say, let me think about that and get back to you. In other words, I'm about to say something mean as hell, and I shouldn't say that right now. So I'm going to go cool off. So, Susanna, what's your take on it?
Well, in terms of what you just said too, it's and And Danielle, it's going to those people that you can trust, the people that you can say the things that really might sound odd. I mean, I'll preface it with like, okay, I'm not sure how this is going to come out. Say what it is that I'm thinking, what's on my mind. And I've got them to turn around and come back and give me some validation of what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, how it's going. I've had, you talk interpersonal communications like this, sometimes somebody does something to me. I've even written about this in the books where something happened, somebody did something to me that just tore me down. And the only thing that I could do was reach out to somebody at that time who knew me, knew the other person, and knew my story so that I could bounce off. Does my feeling, does it feel right? Does it make sense? And to be able to have somebody be honest and say yay or nay. And in this case, they're like, yeah, totally. So having that kind of a connection, and I've been able to do that especially over the last year, because with CJ, with Christine Jones, with Danielle, Dr. News out there too, it's having these people, Kristen Norai, that I feel safe to talk about things that I've dealt with, things that I'm questioning, things I'm not sure how to approach. And I can put that before them and say, here's the issue, here's what I'm thinking. What do you think? And get their input. Because we don't have to do this alone, especially when you've got sisters that you can just sit there and go, thank God that you're here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Gee whiz. So Isabel,
I think I'm going to have
can't wait for this.
a little bit of a more pragmatic answer to your question than these two beautiful ladies. I'm I have become, out of necessity, I have become so good at setting boundaries for myself that if I'm the queen of walking away from situations that are bad for me or that rise a bad vibe. Because if the vibe is bad, I will not um, I will not allow the situation to grow to prove that the vibe was right. I've lived past that now. When it comes to people I can't walk away from, my close knit, really really tight family, whether we're blood related or not, I've installed something over the years, a way of communicating with them. And when I offer it as much as I demanded, is if I come to these people and I'm angry or I'm sad or whatever, I'm going through a big emotion, I they will ask, and I offer the same to them. They will ask, what do you need from me right now? So that they are in a position to actually be there in a way that I need them to be there. So if I need to rant to my best friend, we've been friends since 1989, and I just need to bitch and moan and yell and scream and curse, I will say that. I will say, hi, I hope you're well. I don't even ask. I hope you're well. I need to vent. And she'll stop and she'll listen. And the thing with emotions is when you allow them to live, and when they are given a place to be and a space and time to actually be expressed, they usually disappear rather quickly. So once I'm done crying and cursing, well, I'm never done cursing, but once I'm done, like I'm over the emotion, then more than 90% of the time, I'll say to my friend or family, sister, whatever, I'll say, okay, so now you can tell me exactly what you think of the situation. Because my feeling was given a place to live and I felt heard and I wasn't belittled in my emotion, then the moment has passed and I can calm down and just take in what that person that loves me and wants me to be well and be excel in my entire life, business, personal, whatever. I can take their real opinion into consideration because it comes from the right place. So that's it. But honestly, if the vibe is bad, I'm out in a hurry if I can. I don't know if
Wow.
that's good or bad. That's just me.
It is what it is. It's your experience and your take on it. And honestly,
Yeah.
there's a lot of wisdom in that. So we're over. What else is new? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna switch it up a little bit with the final question. And I'm just gonna give a little just a little clarity. So it's not just a big question that nobody knows what the hell I just asked, like I did earlier. All right. So when we're talking about relationships, it's Valentine's Day, friendships, interpersonal, business, it doesn't matter, right? Romantic relationships. There's a lot of people, and it seems like almost like wildfire. As you grow, you're going to outgrow people. That doesn't mean you're better than other people. It just means that you're no longer aligned in a lot of ways, right? And so that's one of the hardest things, to be so close. Like the friend you were just talking about, Izzy. If you two are no longer aligned, that is one of the most painful things you can ever experience, right? And it doesn't matter who did what or who shot John, none of that stuff. It's just that's what is just really hard, really, really hard for people to do. And it's one of the worst things for me, right? It took me forever to get a close friendship. There's nothing I want to do and lose that. I mean, I'd rather give an earlobe, cut that off before go Vincent Van Gogh before I lost that friendship. However, it happens, right? And again, outcomes, you can't control that. So here's what my question is for everybody. Right? When you're growing and outgrowing situations, employers, your heart's not in it anymore, friendships, whatever the loss may be, due to personal growth. What is your best advice and experience, whatever it is? How did you overcome it? Or better, if you're like me, how would you have overcame it better had you had known, right? So tell somebody something that the next time they feel a shift and a change, you know, things are just starting to go at a fork in the road. How should they process that? What kind of little advice can you give them to help them navigate a little bit easier?
Well, since nobody's talking, I'll start. Um, People in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. You just need to identify which category they fall into. And once you get good at doing that, which is one of the reasons I'm good at walking away, it's not because I don't care about people, because I have walked away from people I still love 15 years later, but it wasn't the right fit anymore. And I don't walk away angry. I walk away for me, and I walk away for them, because if I cannot be my best self around somebody, then I'm no good for them anyway. So is it painful? Yes. And I don't think you get used to the pain. I think if you change your mindset and you put your mindset towards sending them love and escorting them, that's how I word it, is I escort these people out of my life with love and I wish them well. And I trust that their journey is their journey and mine is mine. And it's okay that it's the fork in the road and I'm going left and they're going right. It's just okay. And that's it. That was my
That was a
answer.
good answer. That was like a Oprah answer right there. I was, gee,
Oh,
wow,
you know.
good. There you go.
I have to
We're gonna have to
catch
go to
up for my
Susanna.
mistake, Mike.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go to Susanna on that. Wow. All right, Susanna. Again, when the fork in the road happens, when relationships start to go a little, left turn, start to separate. how can we handle it better? How can we be better people and more loving as we handle these?
It's always going to be difficult. And part of it is going to be, what are you like? I mean, Izzy can sit there and say that she will just back off, but she knows how to take care of herself. And that's what it is. We have to know how to take care of ourselves in these situations. Sometimes these situations are such that you can't get away from a person. And so instead of being able to move away, maybe it's in a workplace, it's a family situation that you just can't get out of, then, like, if it's me, I tend to just get quieter and withdraw and pull back and not engage as much, because it doesn't work for me. It's not a safe environment for me. I need to be someplace where I really can feel the others. And if I don't feel right with somebody, if I can move away from them, I will do it. If I'm in a situation where I can't take that, I can't go the separate path, at least not at the moment, then my approach is to cut back. In some ways, you'll know how the more I'm engaged with somebody I am, the more I feel connected to them. The less engaged, I'm just not so sure, or I'm just not used to them, ready, or whatever. And then I've had the situations. I haven't talked to my dad in 2.5 years now, and I don't know if I ever will again. I'll see him at church every once in a while, but it's like we keep everything separate, and that's the best, because I will send my prayers to him. I will wish him the best. I just can't be around him. I don't trust him. I didn't trust him in childhood. I never really trusted him. And that final conversation, I had the final conversation I needed, and we went separate ways. And so there are times it hurts when you have to say goodbye, even if you don't get to say goodbye, but it's a part of life. And like Izzy said, some people are in our lives for a reason, for a season, and some of them you're together for the duration, from the time you connect, for the duration. And those are the ones that I feel the best. I feel a connection with.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, and oh, by the way, before we get to Danielle, I hate that. I told Izzy the other day, I said, somebody else tells me people are here for a season reason. I said, I'm just gonna choke slam them, man. I hope they're not in person. I don't want to hear it. But you know what?
I'm
I hate
fine.
a lot of stuff,
I'm
but
fine
it's
with it.
true. That's the problem. It was my
That's why you
acceptance of
hate
it.
it, Mike.
I don't want it to be true, but dadgummit, am
Exactly.
I gonna be you gotta accept things that are just you have to accept them. It's like I don't maybe I wanna fly, but if I jump off a 10-story building with a garbage bag, it's not gonna happen. I gotta accept that or I'm going to die, right? So, Danielle, on that note, on that crazy note, what is your take on it? Things are changing, things are moving, you're losing, you're all over the place, you're emotional. What's the best advice? How can we handle this better, more peace, and more mature?
I think for me, um, I let myself feel in my solace or with a trusted friend, let myself feel the emotions when going through that, like grieving someone. Um, and after doing that, hopefully not in an emotional place, saying, okay, I need to set a boundary there because it's no longer serving me. What I like to do is to let that person go in the way that I can love them and pray for them from a distance and just choose not for them to be in my life, kind of like Susannah is saying, to give space and not necessarily less attention, to let them go for mercy to myself and also to them as well. I choose to release them with love and pray for them. That's the way that I can feel in my heart that I've done what I could and move forward. That's how I deal with that and letting go. But it's here, and I just let myself be vulnerable in those situations, and to let go with love.
And that's the most mature shit I've ever heard, especially on this show. All right. So, wow. Thank you. That's speaking from experience right there. Yeah. You can only walk through it to be able to say that with confidence. Sweet Jesus. All right. Hey, a lion. All right. This guy's been in some, he's been in some issues, man. You know, hey, military, family man. Yeah. I can't wait to hear what you got to say about it.
Yes, thank you guys, man. It's been so great just sitting back watching this and hearing this. For me, when I'm in those situations, I usually take, it's not actually far from me, but I usually get in my vehicle as well. And I found like peace. I go right down to Netterville. It's very peaceful. No one else is there. So people are scared to come to Netterville. Uh, that's that's where I found my peace, and I also carry my no button with me several places. So when people ask me things and I don't want to say no, I just push my button.
No. No. No.
I need one. I need
Oh,
5.
yes,
Yeah.
you do.
And I just pull that out and let that do the talking for me. So that's how I handle it.
Go ahead, Izzy. Go
Mike,
ahead.
you need one like this big, and you need it like tattooed on your forehead or, attached to your forehead so you can go like this. Oh my God, that's funny.
Gosh.
Lion, I want one.
Yeah, I need a truckload of those. All right, so, but again, it wasn't just distance yourself and be like not available to people. It was like, hey, empower and duplicate yourself, right? Like now I've got all you all here. I don't need I clone myself. I've got other people that can do tasks and do things and be there for people, right? And benefit and create win-wins. That's the exciting part.
Yeah.
All right. So, hey, thank you all, everybody. This was amazing. We just had a relaxed, really down the earth chat about friendships, businesses, all kind of stuff, right? Because relationships are relationships. They take on many different forms and levels, but the root core of it, we're dealing with messy people that are going to do dumb shit, including us. And so, I love what all of you all have said. The common theme, man, be empathetic, right? I can't even throw paper clips in my glass house. I'm not really, I'm not like, look what you did. I probably did way worse once upon a time, right? So I love the sentiment. I love the audience. Again, if you're wanting to know like who these crazy people are, don't go at business and life alone, man. Reach out to us. Scroll up in the chats, man. People had said they're hounds. Reach out to them. Hear the story from someone, not the leader. I want you to hear the real story. All right. And on that note, I'm just going to end on it.
Thank
We're
you
not
guys
talking
for
about,
spending Valentine's Day with us.
oh man, you got it. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. And thank you, Isabel, for hosting. Thank you, Lion, for running the backstage, man. Producing this thing is unbelievable. All the amazing people, Susannah Dawn, all the things you've done, and you and CJ making the anthology, not just making it affordable, making it accessible. That's special, right? People get to really get a push up in the house, man. You all make it happen. CJ, Level Up, Dr. CJ, Level Up Academy. So here's my last thing. We're not against anyone. I'm a people pleaser. People know this. All right. But you have to be for you. You have to be for you. And you have to take care of yourself. So when you start to grow and do things, people are going to lose their minds on you. And it's going to be very hard. And I love what Susannah and Danielle was saying. Reach out to somebody you can trust and work it through. I had a friend of mine today. I reached out for help. She made me madder. But you know what? You know what? I, I said, look, I'm not sure where this is going. I said, but I know you care about me. I know you're doing, and I appreciate you, right? Because the last thing I'm going to do is make somebody else mad, right? So it just always, if just be humble, and just ask yourself, am I doing this for me or am I doing this for revenge? Am I doing this because this is going to take me to my next level, to my passion, to my goals, to my dreams, or am I really doing this because I have a problem? And the last thing, personal responsibility. Good Lord, we'll have a whole show on that one. When I realized that I need to worry about me, right? Nothing, nobody, the employers, nobody can do anything to me that I don't allow, right? So my job sucks, I'm stuck. No, you're stuck yourself. Go figure out a way to get out of your crappy job, right? Well, they shut the plant down. Yeah, I got laid off too. Then you go start a business, right? That may be an opportunity. So take the lemons and make a damn lemonade empire with it. That's what I'm looking at here. So thank you all for enabling that. Oh, look, Claire Davis. Uh-oh. What'd you do, Claire? This Valentine's Day, Claire's popping up at 8:30. She got in trouble. All right, we love you, Claire. You are awesome. And she's over here helping healthcare hounds do better and get better jobs and all this stuff. Man, we are so blessed. All right. So I'm gonna stop rambling. D, I don't know where D went. D, you know where D went? D Grant Smith. Cupid's chasing him around. He just freaked out. That's what it is. So you all, man, you're all great.
Which D?
D Grant.
Oh, I thought
D
you were
Grant.
talking about D's nuts.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
We need to end the show on that, Mike. Just press the leave button.
I can't find it. It's bad. It's bad. All right. Hey,
bye guys,
catch you
everybody.
on the next
Thanks
one,
for
guys.
coming.
Bye. Thank you. Thank y'all for stopping by. Be sure to follow, share, and like, and send me a message if you had fun today. Y'all come back now.